You want to swing wildly at the internet like you've got the new pill in your hand, but you keep getting dead battered. Find the movement you want with NordVPN. They are our protection against terrifying cyber threats and wide-battered geo-blocks. NordVPN will help you get through any rights restrictions so you can watch all the cricket you want. We aren't always happy with the wickets we're on. Sometimes we need a change. NordVPN can switch your virtual location so your IP address is ready to cash in. So if you need to get around the internet's rules, or I suppose in our case laws, select NordVPN. They can help you watch a game on a cheaper stream in another country. Give NordVPN the ball and let them penetrate all your vast internet issues. Because if you need a VPN, go Nord. Use nordvpn.com/Kimber to get a huge discount off your NordVPN plan plus 4 additional months for free. It's completely risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. You can also receive a 20-gigabyte daily data voucher. The link is in the show notes. Protect your computer like a big hitter is coming for you at nordvpn.com/KIMBER right now. This video was made in partnership with Hit Wicket. Stick that game in your pocket now.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 41 of the Crickpicks podcast. I'm Behram Qazi, who you can find at deafmango on Twitter. And with me, to my right, is Estelle Vasudevan, who you can find at Estelle_Vasude, the number 1 on Twitter. And to my left, as always, is Jarrod Kimber, who you can find absolutely everywhere. Now, if you're new to Crickpicks, what we do on this podcast is that we take any generic cricket category and we draft our top 5 for that particular category in a snake-style draft competition. So the pick order goes 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. And sometimes what we do on this show is that we combine to create a team of 12. And that's exactly what we'll be doing today, keeping in mind that the T20 or Women's T20 World Cup is just around the corner. We are going to be building an ultimate active Women's T20I team. So all players must be currently playing and should not have retired. And pick number 1 for this one goes to Jarrod Kimber. So Jarrod,
Yes.
Where would you like to start?
I hadn't really factored in that I was going first. And so I haven't really thought about what my pick was. So, I mean, I kind of put my team together. I'm trying to think of who the player... I'll just go Sophie Eccleston.
Yeah, easiest one, right?
Yep.
I think she's the best bowler in the world at the moment. And I think at the top level, she's almost unhittable. And I assumed she would have taken 1 million wickets in Bangladesh, and she might only take 100,000 wickets in the UAE. I've come to a point now that when she's bowling in a game, I bet on her team, and I'm not losing. Like it's almost the market can't move enough to how much better Sophie Eccleston is than anyone facing her.
Yeah, no. I mean, that would have been my first pick as well.
Yeah.
And she's averaging 14.65 in T20Is. She's going at less than run a ball. She can hit the ball a mile, right? Like you could slot her in at number 8 and she's a proper bat at times, right? In fact, I pulled out her numbers at number 8. She is averaging 31 with the bat and striking at 155. So, I mean, I don't think there's a better spinner in the game currently. And throughout history, she might be the best slow left armer that we've ever seen. And Sophie is just, one of my favorite female cricketers as well. So good job with pick number 1. I've got pick number 2, and I want to give us an all-rounder who bowls a bit of right arm off break and can bat left-handed. I feel like that is a very, solid commodity to have in a T20 team. So I'm going to go Deepti Sharma. And I'm also kind of considering that this World Cup might be played in Asian conditions. So if we're making a team for that, I think Deepti definitely deserves a shout. And I mean, she's averaging 18.7 with the ball in T20s, and she's also going at less than run a ball as far as economy is concerned. And with the bat, she's more than handy, right? She's averaging 23, might not be as explosive in the format, but you need not play her at 7. You can bat her at 8, Sophie at 9. You could go one of those directions, right?
Yeah, if you could use her if you have a collapse, and she could go up the order, and then if you need someone to come in and slog at Sophie, look, she's a fantastic cricketer.
Yeah. Okay, Estelle.
Yeah, I actually didn't have her.
On
I
your
understand her. I didn't have her on my list. I thought she is a really good player, but I think in this team where you have like the best players, you don't need that all-round option from her,
You
right?
can flood the team with all-rounders. That's what I did in my perfect 12.
There is a freakish amount of all-rounders. Yeah,
Yeah.
I must admit,
I
I
think
had her in,
already, like if I look at my 12, probably only the keepers don't bowl.
Something
by
like
the
that,
way,
right?
the keepers are not particularly easy here.
Yeah, the keepers are a little tough
Yeah.
because there are few.
Actually, I think there's a pretty obvious pick as keeper. And it's another Indian. So I'm going with Risha
Yes.
Ghosh.
Good one.
You're
I
going,
think
oh, okay.
I think she's been pretty phenomenal with the bat over the last couple of years. One of the, it's very easy to pick like top order batters in women's cricket, but when it comes to the middle order, that's where you kind of have to do a bit of digging. I think she's been excellent for India. She's, made a lot of runs and she's made a lot of runs quickly. I think over the last 2 years, she has 669 runs at a strike rate of 151 in internationals, right? Only 150, but that's
Yeah.
because she bats low down the order. I think she's one of the better strikers of the ball in the game right now.
She's one of the
She's
best
going to
strikers of
be,
the ball that I've ever seen, honestly, if I'm being real.
she's, I mean, only 20 years old. I think this World Cup is going to be, she's going to be one of the stars of the World Cup just because she's coming into it with great form.
We're playing her at 5, is it, Estelle? I think that makes sense, 4 or 5.
I think I wouldn't push her to 4. I think she'd probably be 5, 6, 7, one of those spots, depending on who else we go with, right?
Yeah. She's averaging nearly 29 in T20Is and her strike rate is 140 plus. That is quite insane. There was only one other option, really, I feel like, with respect to keepers, but I
I
like
think we
this
can
option.
also pick her.
Can we?
She just
Because there
doesn't
are
have to
there are other
keep, right?
options opening the batting.
Okay, so
I think,
I've got another
I
one,
think that,
right?
yeah, you're
Yep.
up again.
Okay, so we've picked I think two of the more obvious options.
And Deepti
I
Sharma.
will I will I will I will go with Hayley Matthews.
Okay.
But I'm not opening with Hayley Matthews. I mean, in my team, she wouldn't be opening. She'd be batting at number 3. One of the best all-rounders in the game. Can strike the ball really well. And I think her bowling sometimes is overshadowed by how much West Indies depend on her with the bat. But she's just, as good a batter as a bowler, in my opinion. So definitely makes the cut for this.
In my team, Hayley Matthews was 12th player. Yeah, so she didn't make the starting 11, but she was there. She was in
I
and
think
around over there.
she's one player who you don't have to open with her. And like the 12 I put together, she's not opening. She's batting at 3. But I mean, it's dependent on who else we go with, right?
Yeah. No, I think it's a good pick. I do like myself some Hayley Matthews. Plus, she's been in prolific touch recently, right? It's her, Chamari, and what's her face? Smriti Mandana, who have gone absolutely berserk in recent times, and Laura Wolfart as well. These girls just can't stop scoring runs, and they're scoring like buckets of runs in recent times. We're off to a good start, I think, and you're not even opening with Hayley. But I thought prior to this podcast that in this particular team, the ultimate, active women's T20I team, I'm going to go for as many all-rounders as I possibly can. So I went for Deepti just because of the balance she provides. And now I'm going Marizan Cap strictly because of the same reason, right? You can slot her in anywhere really with the bat. She's going to, put in like a shift.
Yeah.
She'll get the job done. And with the ball, she'll go for no runs whatsoever. She's very, very reliable that way. A champion cricketer, someone who can bring some leadership into this team as well and be that, figure that people look up to. And she's an absolute, she's one hell of an athlete, isn't she? A terrific, terrific cricketer.
Do you still think she's at that level?
I mean, if you look at like balance in a team, I didn't have like... I had one frontline seamer in this team. Everyone else is an all-rounder.
What?
Yeah. In my perfect 12,
Okay.
at least.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, I think she can still get the job done.
Okay. No,
I mean, she
get
doesn't
it.
have to bat, right? You could
Yeah,
even bat her
exactly.
at like
That's the whole
10.
point.
So,
She doesn't have
so
to bat.
last year in the Women's Big Bash, she had a bowling average of 37. in the WPL, she did quite well. She took wickets at 16, but went at more than a run a ball, which she doesn't normally do. And then in the 100 again, she did okay. I just don't think she's the level of bowler that she used to be.
Yeah.
But look, it's Marizane Cap, so I put her in. I've got no issue with that. I put her at number 6, if everyone's happy with that.
Yeah. I think that checks out.
All right. You only had one specialist seamer. Okay.
Yeah, in my 12.
All right. Well, why don't we just put Nat Siva Brunt at 4 here and stop mucking around? And then I can either go a seamer or I can go... I'm going to go Leah Tahuhu as my seamer, which will allow you guys easy. She's averaged, I think in the last 2 or 3 years, a bowling average of 16 in T20 cricket. Like I would have said a couple of years ago, she was probably on her way out and then suddenly she's got better. And she seemed to really, really work things out. So I think, that's an easy one for me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so
I
what
had
do we
her
have
as
thus
well,
far?
right? One of the best strike rates in the game over the last couple of years.
I think I looked at the best first 6 overs as well. I think she was right up there. So no, there's no doubt. So we need openers and we need a 9 and a 10.
Oh, so how many people do we have already?
I don't know.
We have 5.
Okay. So a lot of our team is already done.
Sorry, we have 4.
6.
We have 6. Yeah, we have
Okay,
6.
so half of our team.
We have
is
7.
done.
We have 7.
Do
Oh
we?
yeah, we have 7. Yes, Jarrod
my
thinks
God.
right.
Okay, so we need openers, right? I'm just gonna go and prick. I'm gonna prick Smriti Mandana once again. I picked her in the previous podcast as well. Once again, Estelle is very, very displeased. But I mean, look at the form she's in, Estelle, right? Like, can you challenge the form? She is literally scoring, truckloads of runs, and that too at a phenomenal strike rate. And it's just like very recently in T20 cricket where every time she goes out to bat, she creates both impact and she's there for a while. She's a left-hander. She's explosive. She's only 28. She's in the form of her life. I mean, I can't look past her. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to pick her for this team.
Except for the fact that Beth Mooney obviously should have been the first pick of an opener.
Yeah.
I mean, you could still pick her.
I can't
It's your
believe
turn.
you, Behram.
It's your turn. You can pick Beth Mooney. You're not opening with Hayley Matthews anyway.
Yeah, but because there are better openers than Smriti Mandana in the world right now on current form. There are multiple. My turn?
Yes.
Yeah, pick an opener who's better
Yeah.
at the moment.
Yeah, I have to go with Atapattu, right?
Ahead of Beth? So Beth Mooney's not in this side.
She
I
could
wouldn't
be-
pick Beth Mooney ahead of Smriti Mandana.
I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
he's made the mistake, but you're
Yeah.
kind of doubling down on the mistake here because we have Deepti, Matthews, and Sophie Eccleston. So we don't need Adapatu's bowling at all in this side. So are you telling me she's a better bat than Beth Mooney?
On current form, isn't she in better form than Beth Mooney? She's been
I mean,
making a
I
lot
can
of
bring the
runs.
current form thing with Smriti.
I don't know why you guys don't want to just put a good team together.
This is probably the
I
most
don't know why
chaotic team we've ever put together.
I don't know why you two just hate cricket. All right. Okay. We have
Okay.
no Beth Mooney in the best T20
I
team
can't
in the
believe
world
it.
at the moment.
That's crazy. I mean,
Okay.
we can always slot her in as the 12th and then
Yes,
we'll make room for her.
Smriti is going to 12th, okay?
Haley's
I
going
might
out.
move the entire batting order down one spot and just pick Beth and make her open. Okay.
Okay,
Estelle,
so we
you got another one.
need,
Yeah.
we need a number 9 or a 10, right?
We need some bowling, yeah. Some
Yeah.
specialist bowling, I should say.
Okay, so I could either go for a quick or wrist spinner. I think the wrist
Okay.
spinner is probably the easier one to pick.
Yeah.
I'll go with Sarah Glenn ahead
Good
of Behram, just because like we have so many batting options. You're probably not going to need Behram's batting. So Sarah Glenn has been in superb form for England, right? Like I think you could probably say England have the best spin bowling attack going into this World Cup with Charlie Dean, Eccleston, and Sarah Glenn bowling together. Yeah, just a really good option. And there aren't that many leg spinners or wrist spinners in the women's game, right? And it's funny that you have teams like Australia who have 3 good spinners, so they can't fit all three of them in the side, and other teams don't have any wrist spinners at all. I think it's a toss up between those two, but at the moment, Glenn is probably the better option.
Yeah. I would have picked her as well. I love Sarah Glenn. I think she's one of my favorite cricketers of all time in the women's game.
I probably would have gone with another specialist seamer here.
I am going to go
but
with one,
she
so
was,
don't worry.
Yeah, but she was in my list.
I'm going to shore up the seam bowling stocks and just going to go ahead and pick Lauren Bell. Young career, but she's picked up, 32 wickets in 23 T20I innings. She's averaging 17.21 and her economy is below 7. And I mean, you can use her at the start of the innings and at the death of the innings. And I think that kind of fixes the bowling attack for us, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. I'm picking Beth Mooney because you're all idiots. I picked other players. Like I went with Leah just so like we could get a seamer in early. Like because I thought, well, there's no way that you're not going to pick her, and you both just completely balls up the decision. We're going to have to change your entire
It's
team now.
Behram's fault, not mine.
Hey,
I feel like
either
you
of
doubled down
Chamari
on
or
his
Haley
era.
or Smriti. You have 3 people in the team which Beth Mooney could replace. So I don't think it's a howler. It's like, remember when we made the
original
left-handers team?
mistake. The original mistake might be Deepti Sharma.
Yeah, it is Deepti Sharma. You don't need her batting, so you are not picking her as a spinner, specialist spinner, right?
Okay, so
And that was
let's go
Behram as
through-
well, right? So
Let's
that's
go. Yeah, of course. Let's go through this team as it currently it looks, and we might be able to make some changes here. But I almost said Dimitri again. I've got Dimitri on my mind from the last podcast. Smriti Mandana, Chamari Atapatu, Hayley Matthews, Nat Sivabrant, Risha Ghosh, Marizan Cup, Deepti Sharma, Sophie Eccleston, Lauren Bell, Sarah Glenn, Leah Tahuhu, and Beth Mooney. Now, the easiest thing to do here, if it's me, is you would drop probably from this side, you would drop Deepti Sharma, right? You leave Sarah Glenn in, and then you put Beth Mooney in as opening the batting. Is that right? And then everyone
Chamari
else
goes to first drop and Haley goes to 4.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Could have picked Ash Gardner ahead of Haley Matthews now that I come to think of it.
Gardner
Yeah, that would
hasn't really done much over the last couple of years, right?
her
She's
bowling.
had a bit
I
of
had
a
a look
dip.
at her numbers. Her bowling's fine though. Like
Yeah,
her numbers
batting
hold up.
isn't. Yeah.
And but in this side, then you would have had Eccleston and Gardner batting at 7 and 8. Which the problem here is that we have Adapadu and Matthews in too close to each other. Anyway, that's one. At the moment that is not the case. At the moment we have Beth Mooney as 12th, which is extraordinary.
I mean, she's playing. Of course she's playing.
Yeah. So in my team, I have Sophie Eccleston, Nat Sivabrant, Leah Tahuhu, Beth Mooney. Behram went Deepti Sharma, Marizan Kat, Shriti Mandana, Lauren Bell. Oh my God, it's never been more obvious to me since Dilharo Fernando that someone is going to lose than reading out that 4. Estelle, Risha Ghosh, Hayley Matthews, Chamari Atapatu, and Sarah Glenn. So yes, I apologise to everyone who enjoys cricket or discussions or podcasts or women's cricket or humanity for everything we just put you through. I don't know why this has happened, but there you go. That is our list of the ultimate current. It's just horrible. It's all over the shop. One thing I would say, and I don't want to say this in Behram's favour because I would never want to be pro Behram on this show, but there are so many all-rounders. For instance, we haven't mentioned Talia McGrath.
Yeah.
Who I think has a ridiculous record. I think she's averaging 48 with the bat with a strike rate of 140 or something. I don't know, I might be making those numbers up, but it's ridiculous numbers over the last couple of years. And she's been taking crap loads of wickets. But there's so many all-rounders that it actually makes team construction slightly harder. I think if you pick one of those all-rounders that isn't a star early on, you cause more issues, right? Which is what the Deepti Sharma thing has done here. But the question is once you start looking at it, there aren't that. I found it very hard to find specialists. Everyone was good at like multiple things, which when I was assembling a team is good and hard at the same time, if that makes sense. So it was a bit of a weird one. But anyway, please tell us why Estelle or I won.
It's not the worst team in the world. Our team is all right. I mean,
We have
Perry
too
is
many
another one who
openers,
didn't get a
don't we?
mention, right?
Yeah.
We do have
Yeah,
too many openers.
We've
But-
basically done what I allowed it for 2 openers to come in, and then, but at that stage, to be fair, Estelle had already pulled one by moving an opener to number 3. Like it was we were on shaky ground. I mean, Deep D obviously started this very much.
I mean, what if
your
I had
fault.
gone Elise Perry instead of Deepthi?
That would have
be in
been
better
a
stead?
better
Yeah,
option, right?
And now Elise
Or
Perry
you
is
could have
missed out
gone with
altogether.
a bowler.
I think Talia McGrath is probably the player that fits into this side better than Deepti Sharma. Because we have like everyone in this side is bowling finger spin at a certain point. I half expect Risha Ghosh to come out and bowl spin at a certain point. We've got
Need
83
someone to
options.
banca the other non-strikers.
I mean, if
like
that's
batter
the case, she
non-strikers
should have
then.
been first, and I apologize to everyone for not making it.
We need that. We need that energy in the team. But anyway, you guys let us know who you think won and why it wasn't me. And of course, just a quick reminder to everybody, you can go to goodareas.co and bookmark that webpage. It can prove to be a one-stop shop for all the work that we do as part of our team, whether it be written content, podcasts, or videos. We'll be back with another episode of Crickpicks soon enough. And that is all for today, folks. You guys have a good one. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
If you make any content, Minvo Pro is the tool for you. Take your long format content and cut it and slice it for social media. This AI-inspired weapon will turn your one piece of work into so many clips. Try Minvo.pro now.